Well, this time of the year always makes me think about preparing for coming bad weather events. It's getting darker earlier, and it's time to put the winter travel box in the truck. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about that at the end of this video. And double check that your EDC gear is good to go. Now, two items that I think are the foundation of your EDC are a good pocket knife and a good flashlight. Well, these flashlights are not mine. They belong to AMP3, and I want to tell you a little bit of a story about these flashlights. In particular, I wanted to go over this flashlight. This is the flashlight I carry in my briefcase, have it with me pretty much every day, and this is my pocket light. I can say pretty much have this with me well above 95-98% of the time. The only time I don't have this flashlight with me in my pocket along with my pocket knife is if I'm traveling and flying by commercial airline and have to secure those items because of TSA. Okay, this family of flashlights we are now fortunate to carry on the AMP3 website, and I wanted to go over them with you. Any of you guys that are serious gear hounds are likely very familiar with these flashlights from another website, one of my favorite websites for EDC, and that is County Com. You'll be familiar with their brand name, Maritac. Now, I've been a fan of County Com for many, many years. I've had email interactions with all of the guys at County Com. Beth is in contact with them on a frequent basis because we utilize a number of items from them for some of our kits. Okay, the first light is this SOLED or Special Operations LED light from County Com. Now, it's lightweight. It has a number of features that I really like. Number one, there's a loop right here that you can attach a lanyard. The second feature is a nice, easy to operate button switch on the front of the unit. Again, it's lightweight, it's slim profile, and one of my favorite features is this 8-position rotating clip at the back of the unit. Now, for our outfitter, this allows you to attach it to the top of the carry panel and illuminate the panel when you're operating at nighttime. Another thing that I think is useful for this light, and the reason we put it in the outfitter, is because you can spin the clip around to the back end and it makes a perfect place to clip on the end of your hat, and that allows you to take care of somebody at night with light that you direct by moving your head. It's low level but enough to do what you need to do. Okay, I'm going to skip down 2 lights and go to my favorite EDC light right now. Now, this is a small LED flashlight. It uses a single AAA battery. One of the features I like most is it has a very nice low profile heavy duty clip that ends at the back end of the flashlight, which allows a deep carry in your pocket but easy to grab and deploy. It comes with a silicone diffuser cap, which is nice for giving yourself a little area of illumination. That cap also glows at night. It comes off very easy. And one other feature, and it's hard to show on camera, but there is a glow-in-the-dark O-ring that interfaces between the outer head and the lens, and that allows you to see that end of the flashlight if it's laying on your night table. I don't know if it's easy to see right there or not. Maybe on the low level you can see that green ring. That's a glow-in-the-dark O-ring. It's easy to operate. It has 3 modes of illumination: low, high, and medium. Now again, we're going to skip a light, go down to this guy right here. This is one of my favorite lights for my briefcase, and Beth also carries one in her bug out bag. Now this uses 2 AA batteries, Again, it's made by County Com. This is their trademark, Meritac. This is a very heavy-duty light. It has a green or zombie green push-button thumb switch on the back end of the unit. There are 2 places to attach a little carry lanyard if you so desire. And again, it has a nice heavy-duty low-profile pocket clip. Now this light has low, high, and medium. Now the high is 510 lumens, which is quite a bit of light. The medium mode has 95 lumens, and the low mode has 5 lumens. Now here's another feature. If you turn the bezel at the end, you go into the strobe mode, and if you push the cap at the end, you can go to slow and fast beacon mode. Now I usually leave it set in strobe and turn it off by rotating that bezel counterclockwise. And I think that's a good defensive distraction, that if you shine that 510 lumens in someone's eyes, which is pretty bright, and then flip that to strobe, I think you would find that quite disarming and maybe give yourself an opportunity to get away from something that you want to escape from. Okay, the next light is this other pocket light. This is a light that has 2 modes of operation. There is no pocket clip, but there is a nice little loop at the end for a place to attach a carry lanyard. It uses 1 AAA battery. It comes with a silicone diffuser that gives you the ability to deploy a nice area of soft or bright illumination. In the high mode, it runs 95 lumens, and on the low mode, it runs 1.5 lumens. Okay, the next light we're going to look at, and the last on this list, is another Meritac Extreme light. This again has that nice little green or zombie green button switch at the back of the cap, and it's got a nice area here that you can hold with your index finger and middle finger and deploy that cap at the end. It's got 2 modes of operation. In the low mode, 15 lumens, high mode, 145 lumens. And again, you can see it has a light diffuser made of silicone, and this one glows in the dark. Pretty useful feature. And this one also has that glow in the dark O-ring in the end to help identify it when it's sitting on a table at night. Alright, this is the family of flashlights that we're very fortunate to carry on the AMP3 website. Again, this was not meant to be a definitive review going into all the nuts and bolts of the different LED emitters and how long that they'll run. There's a lot of guys on the internet and on YouTube that are doing a fine job of reviewing lights at that level. I look at these more as a tool that I like to be able to grab and use, and more importantly, depend upon. And I feel very comfortable with these lights, and again, these 2 are my everyday carry. I will put this document up on our website so people can download it, and you can see some of the details that I've taken from the CountyCom website. You can purchase these lights from us, and you can also purchase them from CountyCom. Very awesome company with excellent line of EDC gear. I can vouch for the guys at CountyCom, and Beth for sure can vouch for them. She deals with them on a very frequent basis, and they have been nothing but helpful and supportive for the AMP3 crew. Alright guys, I know there's a lot of lights out there. I don't want to stir up a big controversy over different companies. Just wanted to show you something that we're carrying at AMP3. Alright, be safe. Well, it's getting colder here in the Pacific Northwest. We have cold weather blowing in, and even the hint of snow in the next day or two. And I sure love that first winter flurry. It's always exciting. I also potentially have a little maintenance trip scheduled for the next week or so over in Central Oregon, which means passing over Santiam Pass, which can always be interesting this time of the year. Anybody that's been following my channel for a while knows that this time of the year I put my winter travel box in the truck and make sure that I'm equipped for winter travel in the mountains. And I can put a link down below, but that winter travel box, suffice to say, is my ready-go box for all the gear that I need for cold weather travel, including chains, extra food and water, heat source, some shelter, an axe and a saw, heavy-duty shovel, snow shovel, and some winter travel fluids, including some spray window de-icer, oil if I need it, and some gloves and a tarp to lay on the ground in case I need to put on my chains. So what am I doing right now? Well, I cannot put that winter travel box in my truck, and this is the story that I wanted to share with you guys that I alluded to at the beginning of my video. So as many of you know, Beth and I, and frequently Matthew, are on the road quite a bit with AMP3, and we travel around to different preparedness expos, gun shows, and trade shows. Well, we were just recently at the big Reno show. We've been going there for 3 years. It's a lot of fun, great venue, great people. Beth, Matt, and I have made some really, really good friends, and we always look forward to travel to the Reno area. Well, this last trip was the first time we've had any event happen, and I have to admit I've been struggling to be graceful with this because Beth and I both felt pretty violated, but our truck got broken into. Someone smashed one of the windows in the middle of the night, and they took a number of items out of the truck. Now luckily we had already put all the AMP3 merchandise in the big Reno show, and we were ready to start the next morning. But I did have my winter travel box in the truck. I also had my bug-out bag, an outfitter that I carry in the truck. We have one of those in all of our vehicles. See what else. This was extremely painful, but they also got one of my juice boxes and the backup juice brick, and a Pelican case with a shortwave radio. So anyway, that was a little difficult for Beth and I. We're still struggling getting over that, but she was her typical graceful self, and as much as I was pretty angry and struggling to be as graceful as possible with that event, she smiled and gave me a hug, and she said, "I hope whoever did that needed it more than we do." And I think maybe that's the way to look at it. Hopefully whoever broke into our vehicle and stole those items needed them more than we do.